Hello, everyone, and welcome to our latest online event here at the University of California, Merced. My name is Ricky Hill, and I am the e-recruiter here at UC Merced, and what an honor it is for me to be here tonight to help moderate and host this fabulous event. As you see on your screen, our topic tonight is the Western Undergraduate Exchange Admissions, and we also refer to that as WUE for short. Before we get started, let me go ahead and give you a couple of quick Zoom refreshers. If you need to adjust the size of your window, you can click on View Options in the upper portion of your screen. If you'd like to adjust your audio settings, click in the lower left corner of your screen and you can do that there. Lastly, and most importantly, one of our favorite parts of these virtual events is getting to your specific questions live. Please use the Q&A button in the lower portion of your screen. Click on the button, send us your questions, and we will get to those in a saved portion of this event towards the end of our presentation. Once again, tonight, our great topic is Western Undergraduate Exchange, or WUE, admissions. At this time, I'd like to hand things over to my friend Juan to get our presentation underway.
Thank you very much, Ricky, for your presentation and for introducing me. And first of all, I want to say thank you very much for all of those that are here with us to learn more about the Western Undergraduate Exchange and the admissions process to UC Merced. So if you are in the West Coast, you will be able to take advantage of this great program that I will go into details later on in this presentation. But to begin with, I would like to go ahead and start a little bit with who we are and where we are located about UC Merced. So a little bit about UC Merced. We're part of the University of California. We are one of the campuses out of the 9 campuses of the undergraduate education. We are located right in the middle of the state of California. So if you were to fold the state in half, you would actually find UC Merced right in the middle of the state. We opened about 18 years ago, and with 18 years of history, we actually have now been ranked as one of the top 100 public institutions in the nation. So that's very remarkable for a very young campus. But once again, what will you expect from the University of California? So if you were to ask me, which of the UC campuses is the best one, which of the University of California campuses is the best one, I will say all of them, because we all have the same distinguished faculty, same quality of education, but each of us are a little bit different because we are in different parts of the state of California, and we do specific programs that are very unique to our own campuses. If you're looking, depending on where you are, we are about 2 hours southeast from San Francisco, an hour north of Fresno, California. So just, probably about an hour and a half west of Yosemite National Park. So if any of you are interested in visiting one of those areas, you will probably have a blast here at UC Merced, especially if you're interested in the green technology, solar energy, all of that, among other many majors that we have. We keep asking our students, usually what are they interested in or why they chose UC Merced. And they usually say that they came to UC Merced because we are a very accepting and friendly campus. We do offer very interdisciplinary majors. So it doesn't matter what major you are, more likely you will be working with other scholars from very different paths of education that year. So imagine being a psychology student by working with the biology, with an engineer, in order to be able to solve a problem in society. So that's always great. And we have over 200 clubs and organizations. And the nice thing about it is, because of our campus, if we don't have one that suits your needs, you could always go ahead and create your own. All you have to do is get other friends that are interested in them as long as same as you. So one of the things that we're very proud of is that we are one of the most diverse campuses. We have around 4% of African Americans, so 20% Asian Pacific Islanders, 52% Hispanic, Chicano, Latino, and about at 8% of international students. But when we mean diverse campus for us is we want to bring more people from all of the over the United States in order for them to be able to share more with or California students. And the same thing as if you're coming from the West Coast, so you'll be able to come to the University of California in Merced, and you will have a very diverse campus because most of our in-state students are probably like 1/3 from Northern California, 1/3 from the Central California, and 1/3 from Southern California as well. So some of you probably have visited California in the past, but if not, once again, we have a big state, a huge state. We have deserts, we have forests, we have beaches in the area. So there's plenty of differences even within the state. So that's how we are also diverse, because we bring students from all over the state as well. And now we also would like to welcome students from the rest of the nation and even abroad as well. What is the life surrounding UC Merced? Well, according to the among California cities with the population of more than 30,000 people, Merced ranks second in the nation among the 10 fastest growing cities, according to the Department of Finance. Imagine almost 2,700 new residents call home Merced about every year. So that's an increase of like a 3.1%. So we have, Merced has about 90,000 people as of January of 2020. And so the way I see the Merced, the city, I say we have all the amenities that a city will have, but of course the amount of them will be different. So we still have that feeling of a small town. Once again, 90,000 people, but you have plenty of restaurants to choose from, plenty of places to go to, but you still have that sense of a small community where not only you get to know your neighbors, but also you will see them, throughout the community as well. So another thing is that even if you don't want to go to the city, we have plenty of events going on campus. So if you were to ask me what's going on campus, I will say go to live at ucmerced.edu, and you will get the newest and the latest things that we are happening in the campus. But like I said, nearby we have large lakes, we have campgrounds, rivers, we have the Merced Theater, we even have our own Castle Air Museum. We have our own park zoo. And of course, like I said, we have Yosemite National Park within an hour and a half from us. If you live on campus, which usually more than 4,000 students live on campus, and we guarantee up to 2 years of housing for entering freshmen, and also up to 1 year for those that are entering as a transfer students. One of the great things about living on campus is that it's a very safe community. UC Merced strives to keep the campus as safe as possible. Well, full service UC Merced Police Department is always on call. So yes, we do have our own police department on campus. And we also have emergency blue lights that are, direct lines to the police dispatcher, and are located around the campus as well. Also, if you are hanging out on the campus and you don't feel safe, you could always call someone, from the police department to do a chaperone and be your chaperone there. So it is really nice. And one of the things that I said about living on campus is that you get to live where all of the classes are. Imagine living in a third or fourth floor, and all you have to do is go to your first or second floor in order for you to go to your classes. And one of the great things that we have is about living on campus is the research shows that students that live on campus, they tend to do better than those that do not live on campus. And the reason is because students feel more connected to the campus, to the Bobcat community, while they embrace the opportunities um, that are available on campus. So it's not the same thing living off campus and then having to travel to the campus. So basically, the whole campus is your home. That's why you will see sometimes students who are in their PJs and they go to the dining area, the pavilion, because that's what it is. It is their home where they can go get educated, and at the same time is where their friends live as well. So we usually encourage people to live on campus, even though it is not required, but we strongly encourage students to live on campus. Um, One of the things that we have on our campus is residence halls offer computer labs with printers, study lounges, laundry facilities with internet notification system. We have a dance, music rooms, kitchen, outdoor barbecues, and more. University housing is also available, like I said, for continuing students on a first come, first served basis. So like I said, we guarantee up to 2 years, but if you want to stay after those 2 years, once again, it will be on a first come, first served basis as well. One of the great things about the campus is that even though we're the smallest out of all the University of California, we still have more than 200 clubs and organizations that you can join. And like I said, if you don't find one club or one organization that suits your needs, if you have other people that are interested like you could go ahead and start that club, that organizations, reflect on, we like for students to reflect on their pioneer spirit of UC Merced, because you are still helping shape the campus as it grows. And yes, we are at about 90 to 100 students at our campus, but we still call our campus as a growing campus. So you will still be able to leave a print at our campus. Another great thing about this 200 clubs and organizations is that a lot of those clubs have to do with social justice initiatives, or student government. They do plenty of activities and events, not just on campus, but also in the city. We have fraternities and sororities live, and then we have plenty of other centers as well. We do have Great Life, and we recognize 20 professionals and social fraternities and sororities or organizations. So more than 7% of the campus community is involved in Great Life. Great Life, imagine they raised more than $16,000 for local and national and international charities in 2022. So they're very active on campus. So if you're interested in Great Life, you're more than welcome to join them as well. So that's always great. One of the things that I usually like for our students to do is to get involved. Once again, similar to what research says about students living on campus, that they tend to do better. Also, students that participate, that get involved on campus, they also do better as well. So that's something for you to keep in mind. And like I said, our campus have plenty of activities going on. We have dance-offs, we have Coachella, which is our own version of Coachella. If you know about that big concert that happens in the Indio area of the Coachella area of California, Treats and Beats. So we have great artists that come to our campus, and you could get in those concerts for free because you are a student. All you have to do is show your student ID. Uh, so we also have sports. We have, besides outdoor adventures, including outdoors experience programs and other programs that host trips to locations like Yosemite National Park, to Santa Cruz, to Monterey, the winter water rafting, etc. We also have our own sports. We are NAIA second division. So we have men's and women's basketball, cross country, soccer, volleyball. We just added water polo and track. Like I said, also, if you're interested in some of the sports that are not listed here, most likely they exist either in an intramural sport or also a club level. So you might be the one who comes to UC Merced and begins, helps out in one of those clubs to be raised into one of our professional programs as well. So what about the academic experience? So we have this many majors. We have over 30 something, 31 majors, 34 degrees. So new majors have been opened for first year students only in the fall of 2024, which is chemical engineering, data science, electrical engineers, data science and computing, environmental humanities, and public health. But here's the thing, the nice thing about coming to UC Merced is that if you do not know what you want to major in, you could always go ahead and declare yourself either in the School of Natural Science undeclared or just be an undeclared. Now, the other thing is that in order for you to come and be part of the University of California under the WUE program or the Western Undergraduate Exchange Program, you have to declare a major. And the nice thing and the great thing about it is that any majors qualify to be eligible for WUE. One of the things that I'm very proud of is that because in some other institutions, only a certain amount of majors qualify to be part of the Western Undergraduate Exchange. At our campus, every single major is part of that. So you could apply to any of those majors. And minors as well. Another thing is student to faculty ratio is 19:1. 62% of our undergraduate classes have fewer than 30 students. So imagine living on a campus that your classes are fewer than 30 students. You might feel that you're almost like in a private institution, but don't worry, we are the University of California. We are a public institution, and if you come under the WUE program, then you will be saving tons of money as well. Our teachers and mentors, almost 90% of them are faculty with PhDs or equivalent degrees as well. So regardless of your majors or previous outdoor experience, you could also gain the skills to lead, advocate for the environment, make informed ethical decisions, and create social justice during the 2-year program that we have that is called Yosemite Leadership Program. So you might want to join that. If you have never visited California or have visited Yosemite National Park, it is a great opportunity for you to come and visit and be part of that program. But if you come to UC Merced, I also said that you need to participate on learning outside of the classroom. Imagine you can combine an internship in your area of academic interest with the field of research and courses taught by the University of California professors for a semester either in Washington, D.C., network with lawmakers, work in legislative offices, attend debates and hearings, and respond to constituents, inquiries, and more, while living at UC Washington Center. There's also opportunities to study abroad. More than 35 countries that you could travel to and spend there a summer, or even a semester, or even a year that you can spend there studying. You will not be delay on your way to your path. So you could always do that as well. We have professors, once again, that are leading into their field. And not only do they know what they teach, but once again, they are the ones that are doing the new discoveries. Like, for example, understanding what stress is and focusing on how that stress is negative, not only to for us studying for emotional, for physical well-being in everyday life. So you want to go ahead, and I usually said, if you come to their campus, I said, Google your professors. That way you will know what they're interested in, and you will know what they're experts on, and you will be able to get the most out of your experience with those students, with that specific professor. So that's always a remarkable thing to have. So one of the nice things about the campus is that our job is not only to prepare you for the current major that you can declare yourself in, but it's also preparing you for the future. That's why we have professional student organizations like the American Society of Mechanical Engineers. We have a pre-law society, pre-nursing, American Medical Student Association, Electrical Engineer Society. So join some of these organizations, especially sometimes they tend to participate in conferences. So the university will give you the means to get to that specific conference, and you will be able to learn, along with other professionals in that specific field. So always good to have. Um, like I said, the University of California, our main job is to do research, is to create new knowledge. So you will be able to participate in research because that's at our core. We have more than 18 research facilities, institute, and centers based here at UC Merced. So you will be able to, spend some of your time, some of your semesters doing the research. If you don't know what you want to do, we always ask for you to volunteer. That way you will know what is of your interest as well. So with that in mind, learn that, we have um, plenty of researchers working on campus. Like we have the rover before it left Earth, and has actually technology that was done here at UC Merced with our fundamental tribology lab that conducted critical tests that provided critical information for the mission success. So we ask you to get involved. We ask you to to do volunteer work. So that's at our heart. That's, or one of our core things that we have at UC Merced. That's why we have our Undergraduate Research Opportunity Center, which is to encourage and facilitate faculty to mentor undergraduate students in their research programs. So usually the applications open between November 1st to January 30th, but the office also hosts several opportunities for you as a student to learn more about research. So that's the good thing that they do share. They come up with a spring conference where you could actually go. It's called a research symposium, where you could go and learn what things as students have been working, and then you might be the one coming up with a new technology, coming up with a new research that may be happening as well. So, we are very proud of the opportunities that the campus gives. That's why we also show some of our alumni, who came to UC Merced, and they have shared with us what is it that they loved about our campus. And like Jessica Rivas, who came from North Hollywood, California, she says that she loved UC Merced because of the ample opportunities the university provides, its students. And like I said, that's the nice thing about being on Merced. Once again, it's a research university, it's part of the University of California, but you don't have a lot of competitions because we don't have 40,000 students that are competing for the same resources. So that's always a great thing to have. Like I said at the beginning, the quality of education will be the same as any other UC campuses, but once again, we're very strong in making sure that our students get involved. So another thing that we want is for our students to be leaders, to provide service, and of course, to be ready for careers. That's why we have leadership programs, like I said, that Yosemite Leadership Program, the Margot Zuzza Leadership Center, that develops leadership talents by engaging them with practicing with fellow students. This way we provide an intensive leadership lifestyle experience for students where they can participate, where you can participate to develop your sense of personal development, personal leadership, and practice those talents and develop your skills as well. So always be on the look for any kind of programs that we have. If you come to University of California, also, we don't leave you alone. We want to make sure that you're successful. So if you have questions regarding any of your programs, you could ask your peers, but we also have, undergraduate study centers that you could go and get information about that specific major or that specific class that you may be having trouble with. So take advantage of that. Also, we have our career or student career center where they will get you ready once you graduate. They will make sure that you engage with the community, that that you learn the opportunities by engaging in assessment, do strategies on how to find a new job. So they will help you do a job search and also networking opportunities. So anything that has to do with finding a job after having your career, after finishing your degree, you could go to the Student Career Center. I usually say visit the center even before you graduate. That way you can start learning and developing some of the skills that will help you once you are outside of the university. So what happens after you graduate? Well, here we have some of the companies that have hired some of our students right after graduating, but we also have campus schools that have accepted our students, especially for medical fields. So that's the great thing about the campus, that even though you come to for us for your undergraduate education, we would always be installing in you to not only pursue a bachelor's, but also a master's and a PhD as well. And you will be able to, once again, learn from other professionals as to what kind of path you can take as well. So, we are good in ag technology because we prep students not only for ag, but the new agricultural industry. We have, like I said, very different centers where we offer research, but the other thing is that you can always go and visit some of these entrepreneurial and business development centers. Like if you have an idea that you think that you can develop into a new career, into a new job, you could always go ahead and get assistance from that. I always said that the University of California not only prepares you for jobs that are currently in existence, but also prepare you for jobs that are not currently in existence, because you will be the ones that are creating that. And some of these centers, that's exactly what they do, is they help you find out, what is it that you can do. And then you might be the new founder of a new company, of a new organizations. So you will be giving yourself a job, but also helping someone else get a job at a later time. So our campus has recently gone through a remarkable growth. In the past 4 years, we have added more than 1 million square footage of constructions. So we have new academic and research buildings. We have wet and dry computational labs. We added more than 1,700 student bed and ground floor classrooms. We have new student life facilities. We have a new competition swimming pool and athletic field. We have our own wellness center and research greenhouse. And we also have our transit hub. So if you are a student, you actually can get on the bus and be able to go anywhere in the county, and you will be able to go with your friends for grocery shopping, or just go to a restaurant, for example, in the city as well. Also, one of the things is that we are the only university in the nation to have all buildings LEED certified. UC Merced is a very ambitious public-private internship that once again nearly double the campus footprint. And all of our buildings have been awarded, a leadership in energy and environmental design. Most of our buildings are platinum certified by the U.S. Green Buildings Council. So yes, we're one of the greenest campus, but one of the nice things about it is that you can come and see what all of these buildings look like. Not only how they look like, but what is it that is happening inside of those buildings, which is the most important things. So let me pause a little bit here because I would like to answer one of the questions that came on board, and is, what percentage of those eligible for WUE receive tuition reduction? So I can say that if you are admitted into the program, you will be receiving the tuition reduction. So that's one of the things that you should keep in mind. So the next slide will say what is a GPA range, but I will say, remember that in order for you to come to the University of California as a non-resident, you have to have a 3.4 GPA. However, if you want to participate and get the tuition discount, you have to have a 3.5 GPA in every, regardless of the course that you are. So once again, keep in mind that the 3.4 GPA is for non-residents, but if you want to be eligible for the Western Undergraduate Exchange, you need your 3.5 GPA. So if I was planning on coming to UC Merced, I will just keep in mind that I have to have a GPA higher than 3.5. That way, you are able to qualify for the tuition discount. We ask that all of our first year students, have a minimum of 15-year-long high school courses. We call them A through Gs, but in your home state, you may call them, or the courses may have a different title, but for example, history or social sciences. If you are in the United States, most of the courses will be called, United States history or something along those terms. So as long as you're doing something similar to what is on your screen right now, you will be fine. Some of the states don't have visual and performing arts as part of their curriculum. If you don't have that, I will still suggest for you to apply. Just because your campus doesn't offer that, that's something that you have to let us know. That's something that you have, and you need to let us know, some limitations that your campus may have. English, of course, all of the campuses in the West Coast may offer some form of English courses, if that is the language of instruction, and of course, mathematics. Take a look that we said 3 years required, but we always recommend for people to do more than that. So even if we said 2 years of science, make sure that you do more than the 2 years that are required. Always go for the recommended as well. And then do college preparatory elective courses. So those can be extra years that you may do in any other areas like science, mathematics, English, sociology, histories, or any other courses that you might take, any IP courses, AP courses, all of those will be able to help you when you try to come to UC Merced. We will still take some past credits earned, during the winter of 2000 through the summer of 2001. But other than that, most of your classes should come either in an A, B, C grade point average. But if your class, if your high school provides any other type of grading system, just make sure you let us know that in the application, and we will still be able to evaluate your applications. When it comes to standardized tests, UC Merced will no longer consider SAT or ACT scores for admissions or scholarship purposes through the spring of 2025. You can still have some of those test scores, but only if you want to fulfill a minimum requirements in order to be eligible. Once again, those are more like course placement after you enroll in those. So that once again, we are test blind, but if you took SAT or ICT already, those can serve as an alternative method for fulfilling your minimum requirements. But GPA is not the only thing that we take in consideration. We actually take a look at other factors. So for example, it's not the same thing getting a 3.0 from regular courses that getting a 3.0 from honor courses, IAP courses, IB courses. So you need to have a 3.5 GPA, but if you took courses that are IB, AP, send those our way. They would always help you. We also take a look at the rigor of your senior year. What kind of achievements you have gained in projects, what special talents you have, what a kind of awards you have received. So during the application season is not a time for you to be humble. It is time for you to show off who you are, not to make up stuff, of course, but for you to be able to let us know everything you've done. If you're working after school, why are you working? What do you do with those earnings? If you have participated in extracurricular activities, and if you're not participating in extracurricular activities, let us know, what else are you doing besides the study as well. So one of the things to keep in mind is that applications begin or it opens on August 1st. So if you are senior, then, excuse me, if you're senior, we actually are now accepting applications because we started accepting them as of October 1st, and we will stop accepting them in November 30th. So make sure that you submit your application online, between those time, October 1st to the November 30th. And then it will take us a couple of months in order for us to evaluate your application, but you will be able to submit the application once again all the way to November 30th, but then you will wait and we will let you know you've been admitted. After we let you know if you've been admitted, then you will be able to let us know if you plan on coming to UC Merced. Usually the fall admissions decisions come between, in the month of March. It could be at the beginning of March, all the way towards the end of the month as well. We do have and encourage you, especially if you are part of the West, to take consideration of when the FAFSA it is due. And the reason I said that is because FAFSA, it has not been available. It will open up in December, but I'll encourage you to be able to submit that as soon as possible. Here in California, we usually encourage students to send their FAFSA by March 2nd, but each of your states, depending on where you're coming from, will have a different deadline. But once again, if you're thinking of coming to California, thinking of coming to the University of California, especially UC Merced, I will encourage you to do the FAFSA as soon as possible, and then be able to get your financial aid on time as well. So what else do we need besides you having good grades in all of your classes, having specific classes, and filling out the admission applications? Well, another thing we want for you to have is for you to be able to answer 4 questions out of 8 questions that are available in the application. So we call those the personal insight questions. So we give you 8 questions, but all you have to do is answer 4 of those questions. Each response is limited to 350 words. And it doesn't matter which ones you choose. but make sure you answer them in entirely. Um, some students ask us, like which um, questions worth the most, and all questions, basically could only help you. It will never hurt you. So you could choose any of them. Choose the ones that are more relevant to your experience, the ones that best reflect your individual circumstances. So with that being said, here is a quick pick of some of the questions. And like I said, you don't have to do an essay. We no longer want essays. We don't need letters of recommendation. All we want is for you to be able to answer 4 out of these 8 questions. Let me give you an example of one of those. Um, you know, Describes how you have taken advantage of a significant education opportunity or work to overcome an educational barrier you have faced. So if you are part of a educational opportunity after school, or if you have something in your life that you had to overcome, let us know how that um, affected your education. But not only that, let us know how you got over that and how you overcome that specific barrier, or how do you took advantage of that specific educational opportunity. Um, Another thing is, what have you done to make your school or community a better place? And I just gave you example of 2 questions. As you could see, those 2 questions are very simple. You don't have to use very sophisticated language just to answer. Answer as you are. Make sure that is mechanically correct, but you don't have to come up with very flourished kind of answers in order for you to be able to be considered. A personal insight questions, like I said at the beginning, they could only help you. They will never hurt you. So have that in mind when you're applying. So once again, admissions, they started August 1st, and right now is the time for you to submit your application, starting October 1st to November 30th. So we encourage you to do that right now. There's an application fee of $80 per campus, so you could apply to as many campuses as you choose. And then there's fee waivers that are eligible to students who may qualify. So in order to know if you qualify, the application will let you know once you're filling it out. So make sure that you do take in consideration that as well. Once again, how many applications you need to send? It is 1 applications for the University of California, and then you will choose which campuses you want to send that application to. So if you want this application to come to UC Merced, make sure to check that UC Merced square check mark. That way we will receive your application. What happens after you apply? Well, you make sure that you have to print a copy of your applications and then start doing a research, for you to apply for scholarships. I said apply for financial aid by March 2nd. Like I said, you may come from another state and your financial aid, your FAFSA deadline might be different, but start having that FAFSA ready as soon as possible. If you meet our March 2nd deadline here in California, you would be able to be to have your financial aid package, shown to you at the same time, or almost at the same time that we let you know if you've been admitted. Also, make sure that you update your applications. If you change your address, if you change your telephone number, anything like that, you could always, make sure that you go back to your application and start making some of those changes. So I've been talking about the Western Undergraduate Exchange, but here's a map that you could see who is in that specific part of this consortium. So you need to apply, like I said, for admissions for UC Merced by November 30th. And like I said, if you're a first-year student applicant, your GPA needs to be at 3.5 GPA. Remember that I said there was a minimum GPA of 3.4, but that was for non-residents. But I said, put in your mind the 3.5 GPA. That way you would be able to be eligible for this amazing reduction of tuitions that will save you probably around 26,000 over the first year, but you will be eligible subsequently if you are getting good grades and you are enrolled in at least 12 units. So the nice thing about UC Merced that is currently all majors are eligible for WUE. And like I said, you have to apply at the same time that everyone else is doing by November 30th. Please don't wait until the last minute because we want you to be able to have time to go over your application and then be able to submit it and submit it on time. So with that being said, I want to go into the next steps, but before we go into the next steps, I want to take some time to answer some questions that we may have on the chat. So I will let Ricky ask some of those questions, and then I'll be able to assist you with some of those. And if not, I will always get back to you as well.
Very good. Thank you so much, Juan. What a great presentation. So much good information. And of course, I have been dropping into the chat box throughout some links for everyone. So if you haven't yet had a chance, take a moment. And as we are going through some Q&As here, go ahead and click on some of those links and get those bookmarked and saved for future reference. One that I do want to mention right now, and I will go ahead and drop this over here into the chat box now. It is the link for future events. So Juan had mentioned the important deadline of November 30th to submit your admission application, and you are in luck. If you happen to have any questions or you run into some obstacles or snags along the way, all throughout the month of November, we actually have a ton of webinars. So similar to this one, they're about an hour long, and you can hop on with us and ask us any questions that you may have about maybe clarification about the application. Maybe it's a personal insight question that you have questions about, which ones to pick. As we talked about, there's 8, but you only need to do 4. So we have a full session just specific to that topic alone. So take a look at that events page, get yourself signed up for some future events. And we also have some other topics there as well. And last little note to mention, tonight's event, as well as all of the rest, are always recorded. So in case you missed some of this one, or you'd like to rewatch it or any others, you can also find those on-demand instant replay links on that events page as well. So it's a good page, a great page to go ahead and bookmark to visit later on. All right, having said that, let's jump into our first question. So we have one coming in. They are asking, when applying, how or where do we request to be part of the WUE enrollment?
So one of the things that you could do is once you get admitted to the University of California, you need to go ahead and submit your intent to register. So you have to let us know if you're coming or not to UC Merced. So with that being said, we will be able to take, you will be able to take advantage of the WUE discount. So you could do that right at the beginning as well in order to be eligible for the program. So since the beginning, during your application, you can let us know.
Very good. Let's take a look. The next question we have. So do they need to submit official AP scores along with their application?
You don't have to send the official AP scores. You could, you can self-disclose them. And then if you get admitted, then you could go ahead and send those our way. So once again, you don't need to send the officials along with your applications. You could just let us know what those scores are, and you will be able to send the official ones once you get admitted and once you say that you're coming to our campus. The same thing will go for transcripts. We don't need your official transcripts at this point. We need your transcripts once you get admitted and once you said, yes, you're coming.
Very good. And then is WUE something that's exclusive to UC Merced, or do other campuses also enroll in that?
Well, I can only speak on behalf of the University of California, and I will say yes, we are the only University of California that is part of the Western Undergraduate Exchange. So we are the only campus. Now, there's other campuses in California that they may offer WUE, but in terms of the University of California, once again, yes, we are the only one.
All right, our next question. Does UC Merced accept college credits, dual credit, from another college as an incoming first-year freshman?
Yes, we do. So one of the things is that all you have to do is let us know which community college you attended. And you most likely, if you are out of the state of California, you will have to hand enter that. So don't worry, you just have to put all of that information on your application. That's why I said start the application as soon as possible. Make sure you have a printout of your transcript. That way you will be able to transport that information of your transcript manually into the applications. So we will take in considerations, like once again, all of those credits. So yes, the more the merrier. So yes.
Very good. All right. The next question I have here, this person is sharing with us that they've already submitted their application, but they chose to be undeclared. And they noticed earlier in our webinar that we mentioned that they should have a major declared. So is there a possibility or a way for them to go back into the application to amend their selection and actually pick a major?
So I said at the beginning that, you could always go back to your applications and make some updates. And among those is if you want to change your major. So before November 30th, you could do that. And even after past that, there's time for you to make updates like phone number, things like that. But for that, you need to reach out to the application processor. So it's not the specific campus. It will have to be, you probably have received an email that says that you have submitted an application. So that number or that email will have the information, an email address of where you need to submit that information to.
Very good. And then the next question is WUE a separate application, or is it found someplace on the UC application?
So that will be separate. It's not, I'm sorry, I said at the beginning that you have to let us know right away, right after in your applications, but you have to let us know that at a later time. So I would probably encourage you to visit our website that has to do with the Western Undergraduate Exchange and be able to read about it. So we automatically consider students for the Western Undergraduate Exchange if they are from or a participating state. So we do that in admissions. So we don't need for you to submit a separate application. So thank you very much for that. So that's always nice. As long as you have the 3.5 GPA, and if you are from some of these states that are participating in the Western Undergraduate Exchange, you will be considered for the reduction in your tuition.
Very good. Thank you for that extra note. And let's see, we only have a couple of minutes left in our event and a few more questions. So the next one, this person's asking us if we can give them an average for room and board and tuition.
Yeah, so usually we say for in-state students, the tuition and fees is around $14,000. Imagine for out-of-state students who participate on the Western Undergraduate Exchange, we are talking about $20,000 that you will be paying. So give or take, that's how much they will be paying. For out-of-state students who are not participating in the Western Undergraduate Exchange, they usually have to pay around $26,000 or more, additionally. So if you are part of the Western Undergraduate Exchange, you will be paying probably $6,000 to $7,000 more than any in-state students. So that's how much the saving it is.
Very good. And our last question here before we move on to wrap up this evening, if someone is enrolled as undeclared, this is a little similar to a previous question, but so if someone has enrolled as undeclared or applied as undeclared, how hard is it for them to go back to choose a different major such as computer science and engineering for a bachelor's?
So at UC Merced, we are very proud because we do not have any impacted majors. So you would be able to make that change. If you wait until you get admitted, I will encourage you to amend your application as soon as possible so you can make the change. So it is possible. Even if you get admitted, you will be able to change your major, but then you may have to do different steps for that.
Very good. And one more question just slipped in. So can we receive other scholarships or other financial aid on top of the WUE program?
So the answer will be yes. Remember, you could always go and look for scholarships that your school may offer, that your state may offer, or that any other organizations may offer. So even though you're receiving the deduction in your tuition for UC Merced, for the University of California, Merced, you can still bring any other scholarships, with you that can subsidize the cost of you attending UC Merced. So it is possible, yes.
Very good. Well, that does wrap up our question and answer time for tonight. So shall we go ahead and move on to our next steps and wrap up our evening, Juan? Fantastic. So let me go ahead and just go over a couple of last minute things here before we do close out our wonderful event tonight. We would love to have you have the opportunity to explore our beautiful campus here at the University of California, Merced. We offer you a handful of ways that you can actually take advantage of a campus tour. And coming to campus, I can say this firsthand, it makes a big difference because we can show you photos, and we also have drone tours as well that you can enjoy from the comfort of your home. But actually stepping foot on campus and seeing it firsthand, walking around, meeting some of our students, some of us, you'll recognize us as well walking around. It's second to none, really. You just get a different feel from actually being there and experiencing it yourself. So what I'm going to do is drop over into the chat box the link that you can see there as well. And so you can have that opportunity to get yourself registered. As you see on the screen, we do in-person tours for groups and families. As I mentioned, we also have drone tours, virtual tours. We have some new and updated drone tours that are about to be released as well that show the brand new area of our campus as well. We just about doubled in size a few years ago. So other events that are coming up, we'd like to also invite you to those. A moment ago, I went ahead and dropped into the chat box that link for future events, as well as recordings in case you missed them. So go ahead and take a look there. And as I said, I dropped that over there. Let me drop it one more time, just in case you guys need that, to make sure that you do get yourself registered for future events. And also it does mention your campus tours there as another option as well. Tonight has been such a great event. We love being able to meet you this way, but as I said, a campus tour and coming to campus in person is really second to none. We would love to see you in person and get that opportunity to meet you and show you around our beautiful grounds and how sustainable it is. And it's high tech, but we have so many green spaces as well. As I said, it's been such a wonderful night. Juan, is there any last minute words that you may like to share this evening?
All I can say is go ahead and start your application if you haven't done so, and we will have other webinars where we will be able to assist you fill those out. So once again, if you're part of the states that are part of the Western Undergraduate Exchange, once again, get the best grades possible and apply.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Juan. And thank you once again to our wonderful audience who were sending in those fantastic questions tonight and for hanging out with us for this last hour while we talked about the WUE program here at the University of California, Merced. My name is Ricky Hill, your e-recruiter here. I will see you again, hopefully very soon. We have a couple of more events coming up this week alone, so hop over to the events page and get yourself registered. Have a great night, everyone, and we hope to see you very soon. Good night.